Hey there, what's up? Patrick here, back with yet another video, and this one is just gonna be kind of a quick, short little peep into my musical life, because this past week, or the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of behind on making videos, and I've been planning some other things for future videos. So on this one is just a little short clip explaining the three different types of acoustic guitars that I currently use. So I just want to. Some people ask me about my guitars and just what kind of guitars I use specifically. So I just thought I would mention that today in this video. So of course, the most current one, my carbon fiber Journey guitar, where the neck snaps in half. You can take the neck off and put it in a kind of a suitcase type of bag. You can put it on a plane or a train or a car, or I do not like green eggs in ham. No, just kidding. I just had to throw that in there. But anyway, this carbon fiber guitar is my most recent. It's the one that I use currently for most of my videos, as you've probably seen. And it's the one I currently use for all my performances, simply because it's insensitive to room temperature issues and tuning issues. As you know, acoustic guitars, especially ones that are higher end and more expensive, that have less bracing in them and more custom made, the rosewoods, the maple, the bird's eye, that kind of thing, it has a tendency to go out of tune more, and you have to worry about that and room temperature, and they can get beat up very easily on the road. And so this thing, I don't have to worry about any of that. The carbon fiber, it's very nice. The action is really good. I enjoy the action. It feels nice and comfortable around my body. So I feel like $1,000,000 when I strap this thing on. It's really cool. I think the only drawback is really that for some reason it's a little harder to play some of the chords, especially on the higher strings. I have to feel like I'm digging in a little more. But other than that, I can't say enough great things about this thing. It's my number one guitar right now that I use. So that's it for that one. And my very first guitar that I ever used for fingerstyle is this thing. My Wechter Guitar. This thing's a double cutaway, very unique looking, made by Abe Wechter in his shop in Paw Paw, Michigan. Now, as far as I know, Abe Wechter does not have that shop in Michigan anymore. He worked for Sweetwater for a while, making custom instruments, or no, not custom, but more factory-built instruments. And then now I think he's in China, so I'm not really sure what's going on with him these days. But he made this puppy for me, and or not specifically for me. I bought this in Michigan, I think, at what was it? Shop in Lansing, Elderly Instruments. That's where I got this thing, and I took it home, and I just fell in love with it. It's a great guitar. The only a few complaints I have about it are just the neck. It doesn't hold the tuning and the intonation as good as a custom build or other higher end factory builds. But this is a pretty high end instrument. I've put locking tuners on the back. These are locking tuners, so they lock the string in place, keep it in tune pretty well, especially when you're using alternate tunings. So that's a pretty good thing for this guitar to have. So I recorded my first two of my albums with this guitar before I got the current one I have for the studio now. This is my prized possession right here, my Donahue guitar. This guitar was built by a good friend of mine who is a luthier, J.J. Donahue, and he built this guitar specifically to my personal specs, just for me. The cutaway is huge, as you can see. It's made out of Lutz bear claw spruce on the top of this thing. The back and sides are East Indian rosewood. You've got koa wood for the headstock and the jewel tip right here. The rosette, I think, is made of rosewood as well. So it's just a beautiful instrument. Unfortunately, I cannot play this thing right now because the neck is really screwed up on it. So see, you can. Right now, it only makes for a nice percussion instrument. As soon as I get the neck fixed, I'll be back in business. I do not take this guitar out on the road with me anymore. It's just too sensitive. It's not made for being on the road. It's made for being in a studio in front of a microphone. This guitar I've used for the last 2 albums I recorded, and it just sounds so darn good. I don't know of any better sounding guitar. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry that you can't hear it right now. But as soon as I get the neck fixed, I promise future videos are going to be made with this thing right here. It sounds so good once you hear it. There are several. I think I have a couple of videos in the past that I've done with this thing that are still on this channel, so you can maybe look at those. But my last 2 albums were done with this thing, and the sound is so beautiful. Couldn't say enough about it. Again, I have locking tuners on the back, and this guitar, it just keeps itself in great tune. And it has stainless steel frets, and the sound is huge. I don't even hardly use electronics. I do have a place to plug in, but I hardly ever use electronics when I record. I just put this guitar right in front of like 5 different microphones that are coming straight at me when I'm in the studio, and this thing resonates just so well, and then we add reverb or whatever effects after. So I can't say enough about this guitar. J.J. Donahue built this thing, so he's a great luthier. I don't know whether he's still building. I haven't been in touch with him for a while, but those are the 3 main guitars that I use for acoustic. So at the moment, I don't have any more. Those are the main 3 right now. I hope to acquire more, but right now I really don't need any more. This is it. So this is all I really need for the moment. And well, I hope you enjoyed this little session of me bragging on my instruments and showing them off. And maybe this video was boring for you. Well, if it was, stay tuned.